Hello, and welcome to another episode of the playonultra podcast. This is episode 149.
Nine, almost 50.
Woohoo! So yes, we have a guest today. CaliXenon is back.
Hey.
First guest of 2019.
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. Oh, dang. Well, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you here.
You're still actively streaming.
Yes.
So how are you all?
Things have been pretty quiet on my end. Played a little bit more Kingdom Hearts, although my partner can't stand the game, so whenever I play it, she leaves the room. So it's kind of lonely.
Is it constant the whole stupid naming or the stupid dialogue, the stupid story?
No, it's
voice
really.
acting.
I mean, the story is convoluted, which is annoying, but actually what really kind of killed the moment was when we went to Arendelle and they just started doing, like, songs from the movie and just literal scenes, just like Entangled. But it was somehow almost worse because they did the whole Let It Go sequence and it was just the movie. With, like, Sora and pals going, what's this? And it just...
That sounds lazy.
It's super lazy. Like, they did this for both the Tangled and the Frozen Worlds, where they just literally took cutscenes, ripped from the movie, and put it in. Arendelle was at least...
So you're saying it's not even, like, the in-game graphics? They just literally took...
No, it's in-game graphics.
Okay.
So it's...
Yeah, because I was about to be like...
I thought they just freaking...
Whoa, that is a whole new level.
No.
I thought they just went to, like, YouTube and, like... Google video downloader or some shit. It's like 720p video.
It's the in-game graphics. And, like, at least in the Frozen section, it was kind of funny because, like, you see the Let It Go sequence and then you see Sora, Donald, and Goofy going, oh my gosh, what's going on here? So, like, that was kind of funny. But, like, in Entangled, it was almost worse, actually, because you would be seeing whole cloth scenes that you, as the player, would not see. They just had to show them so that the story could move along. So it was even, like, more annoying because I'm just seeing a small section of the movie. Literally, this is just the movie. The same kind of animation, everything. I mean, it's just worse animation, actually. So that's the part that's been really annoying. I'm hoping they do less of that. I think those are the only two movies or two worlds where that's really going to happen. Although, I don't know. We're about to get to Big Hero 6 in a minute, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, like, that's kind of the part that killed it. So... We'll see how the rest of the game goes. The story has, of course, become convoluted. There was a scene that happened right after I just finished. Already? Oh, gosh. There's a scene that happened right after. Like, all I'm going to say, if you don't want spoilers, is just, like, you get a Keyblade, and you get a Keyblade. You all get a Keyblade.
I don't think you even understand the story enough to spoil it, to be honest.
I know, I really don't. It does. All you need to know is these random characters that you saw in past games that have returned, even though you defeated them in other games. They've returned, and it just basically turns out they're also secretly Keyblade warriors. I haven't heard much more than that, so can't wait for that to resolve itself. I'm so lost. It looks pretty.
Oh no, it's all for an Incredibles tie-in. If everyone's super, nobody is.
Oh my gosh, which I think was the point of one of their other earlier games. So I don't know what they're going for here. I don't know. I don't know. Still gonna try to finish it just because I feel like I should. But like, it's been like I'm hoping that those were the most painful worlds. Like. The Monsters, Inc. world worked just like I used to with Kingdom Hearts. It actually takes place after the movie. The bad guy is the bad guy. They kind of make up their own little storyline, and that's fine. Like, that's how it should be. When they try to play it totally straight, it's so annoying. Especially when they just show you straight-up cutscenes. Like, that's just lazy. Don't do that. So, yeah, that's my problem with it right now. That's kind of all I think I did. I've been really busy with, planning some other things with my other side job, so I'm still kind of trying to get everything all set up there, but that was kind of my week.
Kelly, what'd you do?
This past week?
Past couple weeks, past whatever.
Oh, man.
2019, since you're the first guest.
Since the last time you were on the podcast, what have you been up to?
Yeah, right.
Oh, well. I'm doing great. I moved cities and started a new job, I'm specializing, so it's not a different job, but it's like getting more specific. So I've been doing a lot of that, and recently I've been trying to get a standardized schedule going for streaming, which so far so good. I got Euro Truck Simulator 2 for like $2 during the Steam sale, and it's oddly addictive and therapeutic to try to park big rigs. Yeah. And I'm doing it with mouse and keyboard as opposed to like a peripheral that has a steering wheel and a clutch and pedals. Yeah. And everyone's in chat that's like, no, you gotta cut it right. No, you cut it too much. Now you gotta this. And I'm like,
I only have buttons though.
But I get so focused on the parking that I don't even like read chat. Like I'm obviously super focused on that. And then I look over and I was like, oh yeah, thanks. I got it though. So it's like they can say whatever they want, but they can't actually backseat game if I'm not even reading it, right? So I dipped my toe very gingerly into Apex Legends because...
Yeah?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
So, I only played it because friends of mine that I enjoy playing games with were also playing it, and if it wasn't for them, I would have been like, not even with a 39.5-foot pole. Like, thanks.
39.5, that's specific.
Grinch Stole Christmas. But yeah, I enjoyed it with my friends, and I actually won a couple of rounds with my cousin, who basically carried me and my friend, who's also a newbie. Actually, like I'd played 2 or 3 matches with my cousin and another friend, and then the other friend left, and this other friend came in that was like level 1. At that point, I would think I was like a big star, level 4, level 5, you know? My cousin's like level 70 some, I think.
Oh my gosh.
So we were just like, but we won 2 matches. Is the thing that like blows my mind. So that was pretty cool. So now that I've experienced the rush of winning, now I'm like, okay, like that is kind of addictive, and you never know what's gonna happen, and then the loot. Like, there's a little bit of that Borderlands-ish thing. I mean, a lot of games do it, but I always think of Borderlands because it was kind of the first time I saw that between, like, basic and then kind of mid-tier and then higher-tier gear.
Looter shooter.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, like, you do a drop, and you can actually be in a team with one person guiding everyone as opposed to, like, everyone trying to triangulate on the same spot. Or you can break off if you want to. And I was like, okay, that's actually kind of nice. So I think it's a nice blend of all the perfectly addicting substances, like a little bit of the loot boxy sort of thing. You don't know what you're going to get. It might be something really good in this thing that you find, or someone might have really good loot. So like there's a lot of playing to people's natural like pupil dilating instincts, but fun with good friends. I can say that much.
Yeah.
Did you get into Fortnite before you tried Apex? I never did. I just...
Way back in the day, quote unquote, before it went Battle Royale.
Got it.
The moment that it went Battle Royale, I was like,
wow.
Because I liked defending from zombies. I liked building a fortress. I liked that. I thought that was kind of unique and charming. It was a 3-dimensional as opposed to like on your mobile trying to set up turrets and stuff when you can't actually be there and participating. Because it was like, man, because I would always think that. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun, tower defense style thing. But man, if I was there with a sword in my hand, or if I was there defending, like I could wipe out so many of those things. And so it was nice that you built a tower, something that you were trying to defend, various objectives that you could wander around the map and gather resources. It had kind of an open world-esque, but not really. And then, you got that PvE, which I kind of like PvE more than PvP anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
So I liked it. I thought it was charming and interesting and kind of cute. And you could kind of zone out and just focus on taking out a bunch of zombies with unique weapons, and there were different types of threats. And now it's just I saw a Reddit comment or something that was basically like, I like Apex Legends more than Fortnite because when I shoot someone, they don't turn into an 8-story tower.
I read that the other day too. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep. So that's my short and sweet.
Got it.
Yeah.
Tale of woe for Fortnite. Got it.
Yeah.
I actually tried Apex Legends a bit. I killed one person. Yeah.
Nice.
I killed once in a few
Good
matches.
job.
And I played in a few. Some of the fucking matches, I couldn't even shoot my gun before I died. I'm just like, what the fuck just happened, man? I have no
I'm
idea.
pretty sure that would be me for like 20 matches.
And it has, that Overwatch MOBA X thing where you choose heroes, right, with the different skills and stuff. So I always like playing support, either healer, tank. I always like playing supports because I suck at DPS, one thing, and I just like to do the whole, I don't like killing people kind of thing because I suck at aiming. So
I share that sentiment.
I don't know why. Maybe because it's a first-person shooter or something. I just forget to use my fucking skills. I just forget to use them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe because it's a first-person shooter or something. And like, oh my god, I'm a really shitty healer. If somebody shouts at me right now, I wouldn't even be mad.
I wouldn't even know how to heal.
Like, I get it, dude. It's my fault.
Sorry, I let you die, man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But it feels good and everything. Just
Yeah,
feels good. Has that Titanfall feel.
Yeah. Tempted to try it just because it is free, and I haven't
It is
really gotten into yet. I haven't really gotten into any other kind of battle royale. I really avoided the Fortnite and PUBG train. But
Actually, this one will probably be a good one if you want to get into it.
yeah.
I'll play with you.
Yay! I'll let you know. I really need to get back into doing stuff, so someday.
Yeah. For what you do.
I watched the first episode of Doom Patrol.
Nice.
Because you hyped it up so much. You promised me it'd be the best show I ever watched.
It had Brendan Fraser.
It has a
Has
little
Brendan
bit of
Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
A little bit.
And it quickly becomes voice acting thing by Brendan Fraser. It also has Timothy Dalton and Alan Tudyk, which is pretty cool.
There's Alan Tudyk in it?
Yeah.
Is he
he's
the
actually
guy with the bandages?
No.
Oh.
I don't know who that guy is. I mean, I know the character, but I don't know the actor. It's not a comedy like I thought it would be. I mean, I think it's probably maybe going to become silly, but at least this first episode kind of sets up all the characters with pretty tragic backstories. There's a little bit of a downer to watch that first episode, but I will watch more. It's interesting. We'll see. It's not as good as The Tick, though, that's for sure.
Oh. I like it. It's just like quirky.
Did you actually watch the
Broken
first episode
history.
as well?
Not yet. I'm gonna try to get into it or something. But it's one of those. It's not all out. DC doesn't do that, right? It doesn't have all episodes out at once. Not like Netflix.
Right. Right. It's only Netflix. If it airs on TV, you gotta wait like a sucker. It reminds me, there's another show coming out that I want to see called Miracle Workers, where Steve Buscemi plays God, and he's kind of tired with the world, and so he's like going to pull the plug and just wipe everything. But Daniel Radcliffe plays an angel trying to convince him that it's worth saving. And I'm like, okay, I'm on board for this. I don't need to know anymore. I'll watch.
Daniel Radcliffe, what a champ! I have to say, what a champ.
Have you seen Swiss Army Man? That's the best
No.
Radcliffe. He plays a corpse.
Amazing.
The whole movie. The Swiss
Amazing.
Army corpse. He can do whatever.
Oh my god.
He's a zombie, basically, right?
I mean, he's not alive or anything. He's like a puppet. And
Wait, I thought he talks.
there's a couple scenes where what's the other guy's name? Danny, not Danny Trejo, the guy from Little Miss Sunshine.
Not Danny Trejo. That'll be
Anyway,
funny, though.
whatever his name is, he'll like squeeze Daniel Radcliffe, and he'll kind of like a gas will escape, and it sounds like he's talking. It's not clear how much of the Swiss Army Man is in his head and how much of it's real. But he does kind of talk a little bit. You're right. I forgot about that. I played more of Breath of the Wild finally.
Oh, nice.
I played it not when it first came out. I played it like a year ago, and I didn't have a lot of fun. And started playing it again, and I'm having a little more fun. The combat still feels weird not having a roll.
Yeah.
You have a block, and that's kind of it, and it feels real weird. But I'm getting better with bows, so I don't have to deal with it as much.
Isn't
It's
there,
very
like,
open worldy.
a jump evade though?
You can kind of jump sideways, I think. I
Yeah,
don't know if you
that's what I
block
mean.
while you jump, though. I haven't
think
been able to
so.
do it successfully.
It's been a while since I last played, but anyway, that's all beside the point.
I should try it. I should get into more fights without. I don't know. The game's really good at giving you all these tools. So usually when you go into a fight, it's on your terms. So you generally set things up. So you're kind of just mopping the floor with guys because like you threw a bomb in and blew up their boxes, or you shot the
Right.
guard and then they don't have their weapons and you just kind of murder them in their sleep like a hero would. So we'll see how the first dungeon boss goes, because I haven't really got to that part yet. Other than that, I played Heat Signature for a little bit, which is from the guys who did Gunpoint. It's kind of like Hotline Miami in space.
Oh, is it?
It's good. It plays like Hotline Miami in space, but it's more like Hotline Miami is like linear, and Heat Signature's more like a roguelike kind of, sort of. Because if you die, your character's dead, and you lose the gear that it had on it. And so, like, the progression kind of comes from like a Binding of Isaac kind of thing, where you're unlocking items that can drop, and you're kind of like building up like a gun library, essentially. So when you die, you can just have that gear ready for your next character. There is a narrative, though, but you're all kind of like trying to further the rebellion of the galaxy. And the last thing I did was I played The Uncertain Last Quiet Day, which is a third-person point-and-click about a robot in the post-apocalypse. It's written pretty interestingly, but it's real rough gameplay-wise. A lot of slow, clunky, like load-time events.
The Uncertain Last Quiet Day. That's a mouthful.
Yeah. I think it's a sequel to a game just called The Uncertain, but I didn't follow up on that. Because it's The Uncertain, Last Quiet Day.
Is it closer to a walking simulator, or is it closer to like a puzzle, kinda?
It's almost closer to a walking simulator, because a lot of the puzzles are that annoying thing where until you interact with the right object, you can't interact with the other right object. So it's like walk through this apartment building, interact with everything, and once you actually click on the locked door, you can go back to the beginning of the apartment building and like break the pipe, which you can use to crowbar open the door. It's like, I could have opened this in the beginning. Like, this was clearly a thing. It was rendered way better. I should just picked it up in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's why the gameplay is kind of a little frustrating sometimes, because there's a sprint button, but it's like 1.1x your walking speed, so it's not even worth anything.
Speed walk.
But I do like so far the world building is pretty cool.
A new first-person horror game just came out called Devotion that's got everybody talking. So
Oh, really?
Not heard about it.
Just came out on the 19th of February. It's overwhelmingly positive right now with 4,000 reviews on Steam. It's a first-person horror adventure game, and
Damn.
it's made by Red Candle Games that made Detention, which is also another pretty popular. It's Chinese-based horror.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not sure if Devotion is Chinese-based horror, but what was the other game? Is it Detention? Detention is Chinese-based horror. I believe they're
because being
Chinese.
punished in school is the most scary thing in China.
I have no idea.
Is that racist? Probably.
I won't say anything.
Yeah, I think yeah. Oh, they're from Taiwan. Yeah, they're from,
I like
developers
the
are from Taiwan.
art for Devotion. It looks almost like the Shining kind of horror.
Relive the 1980s Taiwanese lifestyle. Through
I'm
visuals
seeing a
and
lot
setting.
of like Indian style art for Devotion. Big earlobes,
because
forearms, all hats.
Buddhism and Hinduism kind of share a lot of similar,
Yeah.
Okay.
One kind of founded the other, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Far Cry New Dawn is also a thing. It's Far Cry. Go figure.
What it says on the tin.
Yeah, Jump Force is a thing. It's that new anime fighting game with all the One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto characters. It
actually looks kind of cool.
It's a big
graphically.
series in Japan.
Yeah. I'm not going to play it, but it looks cool.
Something I think you guys might like, Eastshade. It's a first-person walking simulator, and you play a traveling painter, and you go around painting landscapes and stuff and talking to people. Seems cool. I've thought of that game for quite a while. I think it was announced like a couple of years ago, and now it's just released. But I think that's all when it comes to like new games.
New hotness.
I'm still playing Yakuza Kiwami 2, which is good. Yakuza games are all good. I played 1111 Memories Retold. It's the
Cool name.
It's the adventure game set in World War I.
Okay.
The cool thing about it is a couple of studios collaborated to make it, but I think the one that created the art style. So one of the studios is the guys that make Wallace and Gromit, the Wallace and Gromit animations.
Aardman.
Artman, yes. So I was like, they're making a game. That's pretty cool. So the art style is it's sort of like a painting, kind of. It's like moving paintings, basically. So everything is like kind of blurry, and it kind of gives it a very cool aspect of so most of the main characters you can kind of see like a little bit of the facial features, and some like you recognize as a main character, but everybody else, like the people on the streets, the soldiers and everything, they just kind of just look like, you know, blank faces. And I felt like it kind of lended the whole aspect of like, you know, just it's all these people that we don't know that's affected by the war and those kind of stuff. It has a really cool art style, but the gameplay is kind of
Walking simulators.
it's a walking simulator. The whole point of it is supposed to be like it has a cool story and all, but it's also supposed to be one of those your choices matter type. But the biggest choice you make is at the end, and at the end is also the best part of the game because of that choice, because of the choice you have to make. So the story is pretty good. So you play two characters. One is a Canadian photographer, like he's really young, like 18, 20. He wants to be, you know, like a war hero kind of thing. So a general asks him, you know, go to war, take pictures for us to gain more support back home kind of thing. And the other side is a German father trying to find his son, and everything's just intertwined. And at the end, there's like, you know, everything just comes together and stuff. But it's okay. I wouldn't say it's like really good. One of the biggest reasons why I actually looked at it is because of the Wallace and Gromit people worked on it. So, so other than that, I tried.
Cool.
Yeah, I tried out a demo on the Switch for a game called Daemon X Machina. It's
Damon?
Daemon. So like
D-A-E?
demon with DAE.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So
Devil in the Machine.
So it's a mech game in the style of Armored Core. So you use a mech, you can like boost each direction, and it's pretty solid actually. It's pretty good. So the demo is like a separate. You can find it on the eShop as a separate release kind of thing, and I believe if you try the demo, they will send like feedback forms to the email they use your eShop account with. For some people, yeah, it was announced like a couple of years ago, and people are really excited for it. And this is like the first thing that you know you can actually, yeah, pretty much. So yeah, if you have a Switch, just try it out. It's pretty solid actually. It's a pretty solid mech game if you're into mechs. That's about it. I didn't watch anything though.
Oh, I forgot to mention I watched Alita Battle Angel.
Oh,
Did you? What did you think?
I liked it, and I would recommend it. So it's got
Really?
good action and good world building, but it's a terribly written romance, which is a little awkward sometimes.
Fair enough. It looks awkward.
One of those
That's fair.
physically very strong characters who is emotionally not.
Got it.
okay, one of those.
So I enjoyed it. It made me... There's enough good in there. It's like it's hard to tell which things are kind of bad because they're trying to cram a whole manga into a movie, and which things are kind of bad because it's from the 80s. So I think I'm going to start reading the manga, and I'll get a better opinion. Not of the movie, but just of the franchise. It also has a huge cliffhanger ending. I guess it really wants a sequel, so that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, of course. They always do.
You know what I saw for the first time within the last week? Groundhog Day.
Oh,
Yeah, I have
I'm
never
jealous.
seen it.
Getting to watch it for the first time again. That's cool.
I'm not even sure if I've seen it all the way through, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have. I feel like I've seen parts of it. Like when I was younger, my parents were watching. I don't think if I
Yeah.
actually have sit down.
I was
and
so
seen
young
it.
when I watched it. I probably can watch it again. Like it's almost new, kind of.
Well, what did you think?
Yeah.
So I had seen the Caddyshack a long time ago, and I got confused because someone told me something about Groundhog Day, and there was a gopher in the Caddyshack, so I thought that's what the movie that they were talking about, and so when it said they were living the same day over and over, I was like, wow, I didn't get that at all from the Caddyshack, but no wonder he did all that weird shit. Okay, whatever. And then I saw Groundhog Day, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what they were talking about. I thought it was cute. There were moments that were kind of heartwarming. I was watching with a bunch of other friends, so we were just kind of ragging on random points and like kind of making cracks. But the movie itself, I thought it was cute. It was definitely on the dated side. It was kind of funny watching Bill Murray get slapped a bunch of times. But even though he was morphing himself into the whole stereotypical like speaks French, knows how to dance, can play music, like, and all this like
artsy stuff,
perfect type thing. I was like, But then again, it's also the whole premise of like he's reliving the same day over and over, so it's like we're totally in fantasy land. So
apparently, according to the director, in his headcanon, Bill Murray's in the loop for like 400 years. His time.
Jesus.
A la madre, are you kidding?
Yeah, like some
gosh.
insanely long time.
It's like Doctor
Yikes.
Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I've
he
come
did,
to
at one
parlay
point
with
someone called him a doctor, so I wouldn't doubt it. Golly, 400
cool.
years is enough for anyone.
News time?
News time?
News time.
News time.
Yeah, let's do it. Somebody quit their job, didn't they?
Yeah, somebody maybe.
yeah.
By choice in the game industry?
By choice.
No way.
I know, which is rare recently, but it was by choice.
When you're the fucking president, yeah, it's by choice. Even if it's not by choice, you get like a 15 million bonus or some shit to get fired.
Golden parachute.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's what they call it, right? Golden parachute. It says Reggie Fils Aime, the president of Nintendo of America,
Yes.
is retiring, and he's gonna leave the
Yes.
company in early April. And the next president has the best name to succeed his position because his name is Doug Bowser.
I swear to God, he wasn't chosen for qualifications.
So good.
So if you want your kids to be C-level management, name them after a video game character.
I hope
Yeah.
his middle name's Giga.
Oh my God. If not, he better change it.
So like Michael Kratos or some shit. I don't know.
Ridley.
Oh my God.
So yes, actually, if you go to his Twitter page, the Doug Bowser guy, is Dave Bowser, Doug Bowser? Whatever. We only care about the Bowser.
I thought it was
parts.
Doug.
Yeah, I think
We
it's
only
Doug
care because it's Bowser.
Yeah, we only care about his Bowser.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's
Mr. Bowser.
His Twitter profile picture at the back has a Mario and Luigi plushie being tied with a GameCube cord. It's quite,
Yeah, I saw that.
funny. Yeah,
I've got questions.
He's right into the whole Bowser thing, I think. It's pretty
So
good.
funny.
Oh, incoming like single player adventure style from Bowser's perspective.
I would play
Oh my
that shit.
God.
Just a story,
Totally.
just Bowser.
Just Bowser. Oh, so
Yeah.
funny.
I want like a Wicked, but with Bowser.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
There's been a couple of games that you can play with Bowser, right?
Right, with
Yeah, but
Bowser.
that's...
And
not
you're
the racing.
controlling him
Smash
and you're in
Brothers.
fights, but you're
Oh, yeah.
combining forces against some other
Yeah,
kind of
you probably- yeah, usually
external
combine-
evil
yeah.
or not wanted circumstance, not like beginning to end main character Bowser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
That would be fun.
Yep.
That would honestly be fun.
There is that weird moment in Mario Odyssey where you take over Bowser with the
Yeah.
hat.
That was an annoying level, to be honest. I did not like that
Yeah.
level. I had to try it so many times. But I like the game overall, though.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I got something. Oh, God.
I mean,
Sorry.
Yes.
what you got?
It's a different thing.
No, because... let's just go with yours. Let's go with yours.
Okay. No, I just had a different thing. So do you guys remember, you know how Fortnite's getting Epic Games was getting all those issues with the dances they were doing?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, so one of the first... So, for those who don't know, so there are dances that you can basically buy and download.
The
that you
emotes,
can,
right?
Yeah, the emote dances. And they were using... A lot of these dances were from, like, well-known
iconic stuff.
rappers and stuff,
Right,
iconic
okay.
stuff. So the
Fresh Prince
Carlton
of Bel-Air,
dance for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was one of those dances. And the guy, the actor, Alfonso Ribeiro, was... he actually sued, saying that it should be trademarked. He should be getting the money, basically,
Royalties or something,
royalties from
right.
that. So they just finally decided that the Carlton dance has been denied by the U.S. Copyright Office. They say the moves are just a simple dance routine and cannot be registered as choreography.
Ooh.
Sure.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what that
So-
means.
Basically, they're just saying that, like, you can't trademark when it comes to music and dance routines, like, there are certain art forms and stuff like that that can be copyrighted. But with things like dance and music, it's very strict just because it's so open. So I don't know how it is with dance routines. I just happen to know that in music, for example, this is how strict it is. You can copyright, but actually it's easier just saying the other way. You can copy no more than like the first 7 notes of a melody from a song. After that, it's considered a copyright violation. So if you do like the first 6 notes of a song, you're in the clear. But yeah, because in music, I minored in music, so that's why I know this. Music, like, there's only so much you can really do. Like, I hate to say it. Especially, like, you cannot copyright chord progressions because then everybody would be in copyright violation because most chord progressions are the same, especially in pop music. So very much what you can copyright is very limited. So that's why they do melodies, which is like the first 7 notes. Like basically 7 notes and beyond. Anything before then is not as big of a deal. So you'll hear some sampling and some similarities in other music, but it's not copyright because it's not the first 7 notes. I don't know what the rules are for dances, but what it sounds like is that the Carlton dance as we know it is too simple of a routine to be copyrighted, basically. Is basically what they said. So we'll see how that holds. Yeah, we'll see how that holds for some of the other. I think they got sued by a couple of rappers, but I'm not sure. But we'll see how those go, because those might be a little different. Like, the Carlton dance is literally just like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is.
That's all it is.
Yeah, so he really didn't have much of a chance. Like, because anyone
Also,
could
it
have
seems
added that.
weird that it would be him who has it and not like the choreographer, unless he was just ad-libbing that.
Well, do you know what's even weirder? Is he tried to say, I think what he tried to say was because he was in Dancing with the Stars, and he did that move in Dancing with the Stars. So I think at first he was trying to say that
I
therefore
see.
he owned it, but actually ABC technically would own it. So he was going down a bad rabbit hole, whichever way he
I
went.
think it's just somebody talking in his ear. Hey, you can get rich
Yeah.
from this.
I'm in the news again. I'm in the news again.
Exactly. So, meanwhile, poor Soulja Boy is just waiting for someone to take his copyrighted dance to try to stay
Anybody want it?
relevant in the
Anybody?
esports news.
But,
God, Soulja Boy, why?
Soulja Boy is a Superman guy, right?
Yeah, Superman. Yeah, that guy.
I thought they
He
do
has a
have.
dance.
I thought they do have the dance in.
I don't know. They
Fortnite.
might. That
Yeah,
there was kind of a joke that he was waiting for them to, which was just so funny because so many rappers have
Oh.
been mad at Fortnite. But he's like, no, they should take my dance because Soulja Boy has been trying to stay relevant. I guess he's been playing Apex Legends and was like, try to add me or whatever. I'm gonna build a team because he's trying to make his own esports organization still. So
Oh.
Didn't he also try to launch a console?
yes,
or
he
Yeah.
did. Yeah, he did. He got
Launch the
sued.
console. He bought a fucking console from
Sorry, but that's
AliExpress
crazy.
and like
He
tried
bought
to
it.
sell it.
Yeah, he bought
For,
it
like,
from
double,
basically
quadruple the
Chinese
price.
knockoff, and yeah, it was horrible.
with the ROMs in it. So
With the raw, yeah, it was bad. Yeah, he's
He's like the
trying.
gaming world's awkward uncle. You know what I mean? Like
Kinda.
trying to be cool, but he's just absolutely not.
the awkward uncle we
just-
didn't know that existed. Is kind of how I see it.
Yeah,
like
exactly
I didn't know he was even our uncle.
I didn't
like
know
what
we
the
were
heck?
related,
From? Just shows up with a
this is your Uncle Soulja Boy. What?
what? Just shows up with a paternity test. It's like, hey guys, I'm your uncle. We're like, what? Anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I know we were all holding our breaths about what was going to happen with the Carlton dance. So that's one of my news items.
going back to the Nintendo stuff, might as well, since we talked about Reggie already. Nintendo Direct was a thing.
It was a thing.
And
Tetris 99.
I somehow didn't know that.
You're bad
That
at this.
explains why I was seeing Nintendo news, other than the Reggie thing.
did you not see a bunch of stuff in your timeline about Tetris Battle Royale?
No, I didn't.
So
What's getting the Battle Royale?
Tetris.
Oh, wow. I did see a Tetris battle something. I didn't realize a Royale battle.
So basically, it's
Wow, I
a
didn't even know
game.
how that works.
So the game is called Tetris 99. It's already out. It's free to download if you have the Nintendo Switch Online subscription
Oh,
service
wow,
thing.
really free?
Yeah, it's free.
Oh,
And
subscription
so
service,
basically, it's
okay.
just you versus either 98 other players or 99 other players. It's like one of those numbers, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like you try to do the Tetris thing on your screen and then there are like certain things you can do to mess up other people's stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not sure if you guys played the I'm sure
Attack.
I'm sure there are multiple iterations of this, but I've played the Tetris game on the OG, the old DS, the DS Lite. And if you play multiplayer, you can actually play like an attack thing where you can mess up other people's when they're trying to build the thing. So this
Yeah.
is basically
I've
this
seen it
times
with
99.
people. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
And it's free. I'm not sure how they're gonna monetize it or if they even want to monetize it.
Skins, dances.
They just don't even get to
Maybe
Announcer.
this is maybe this is actually skins would work.
Skins could work for pieces, yeah.
Backgrounds. Different color schemes. for the
soundtracks.
pieces.
This might also be
Yes.
a way for them to try to get more people on the Switch Online subscription thing.
Consumables,
Yeah.
pay to win.
I heard that too.
It might not be getting as much, subscribers as they would have hoped. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if
Maybe.
Smash Brothers didn't do it, I don't know that Tetris is gonna do it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that
You'd be surprised.
I could be surprised.
People that are interested in the battle royale. I mean, it kind of launched around-ish the same time as Apex, and it seems like people are a lot more stir crazy. Like if you're into the battle royale thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know who's been sitting on the outskirts of battle royale. Like I would join them, but I'm not good at those first-person shooters. If only it was something that was relevant to me.
I
You know what I
mean,
mean? Like
Agar
I don't
IO
see that
was
crowd
big.
being big.
Egar,
That's true, but that's actually free.
Yes, that's true. That's the
like this one is
interesting factor.
technically
Except
free.
for that internet paywall.
Yeah.
Looking at you, PUBG.
So yeah, a bunch of other things they showed off. They showed off Mario Maker 2. I'm not into
Yes.
that. They showed off Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I'm super into that.
What is that?
So Marvel Ultimate Alliance is a series. The first game came on the PS. I think both games came on the PS2, and then they re-released a PS3. Whatever. So like PS2, PS3 time. It's you can play co-op with 4 people. You can basically make a team of 4 superheroes from all the Marvel franchises. So they have X-Men, they have Avengers, they have all the crazy the Spider-Man, those kind of stuff. You go through like a story. There's loot. You can level up. So it's basically Diablo Marvel.
Okay.
That's also where like Marvel
I'm on
Heroes
board
came
with that.
about, I guess. I'm not sure, but Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Also, one thing I noticed while I was, salivating at all these trailers, very choppy frame rates. It's all on the Switch, right? So it's kind of
That's too bad.
That's too
That's
bad,
what
yeah.
they showed.
yeah.
They had to show their best, you'd think.
Yeah.
So
That reminds me, did we talk about like 2 weeks ago the 4 Marvel shows that I think Hulu announced they were making?
No. What?
Well, because you know how Netflix
That's
had like
right, yeah.
like Daredevil,
Daredevil.
and that went
Yes.
into the
Okay, yeah.
Defenders.
yes.
Well,
yes, yes,
Hulu's
yes.
doing the same thing, trying to build up to the Offenders.
What?
And so the 4 shows that are coming up are Howard the Duck,
Yep.
who we all know and love, MODOK, which is that potato suit guy, machine organism designed only for killing or whatever, Hit Monkey, which I only know of from a crossover with Deadpool. He's a monkey who kills people. He can use his feet to fire guns. It's 4 guns. And then the 4th one is a weird crossover between Tigra and Dazzler, who don't
Yes.
really have any relationship at all in the comics. So
Yes,
I don't know
I
how they
heard of-
picked those 2.
I heard this was coming, and I know people who are very like, I don't know what to expect, but I want to see this.
Is
That's
the
exactly how I
Offenders
feel.
an actual team up comic kind of thing? Like the Defenders is an actual
the name
thing, right?
sounds. The Defenders is an actual thing. I mean, the Offenders. It's so generic. I can't tell if it sounds
like a
familiar
parody.
because it is familiar, or if it's just it's
It's
similar.
just a joke.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely pretty sure this lineup has never been together in something before, but I could be wrong.
I have never seen Howard the Duck. Like I look
Don't.
up
Yeah,
I've
images
never
and I
seen.
recognize
Don't.
it,
It's not a good movie.
but it looks yeah.
I've never seen it either. Literally, my first exposure to it, not gonna lie, don't care if this makes me a bad person, was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
That was my first exposure to it, and it was explained to me, and I went, oh, I'll pass.
Yeah, it looks
the
creepy,
comic's
cringy.
okay. The movie's just real weird, and not that funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kinda-
I'm getting a sleazy.
it's
creepy
kind of
vibe
good
from
It was
bad.
meant to be sleazy, if I recall correctly.
It's kind of good bad, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's not very clearly good bad.
Mystery
Got
Science
it.
It's
Theater
definitely not
fodder
good,
or
good.
worse.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
We didn't talk about that, so that was fun news. To
I
hear.
thought Disney wanted to
Yeah.
make their own streaming thing and wanted everything to be on their own thing.
Yeah, I
Didn't
mean, these
they,
are all real
didn't
weird
they-
listers, so maybe they're
Well,
not.
they might be seeing how DC Universe is doing and going, maybe not.
They pulled the
Daredevil,
the Netflix
and
stuff, right?
Punisher.
They
Yeah, I
did,
think
yeah.
all the Netflix stuff is finally canceled, or is one of them
Yeah.
still going?
Punisher is
No, I
still
think
going.
they well,
I think.
Jessica
Okay.
Jones canceled, so I'm pretty sure they all
Okay.
did. 'Cause
I mean,
kinda-
I think everything's canceled, but we still have another season of Jessica Jones that will come out, right?
Oh,
I
really?
think.
that I don't
I-
know.
I
Unfortunately,
think like this is the last one. I don't know.
Okay.
I, don't
I
know.
was
Let's
I
just
was
spread some
I was
false
served
news.
an ad for a Punisher trailer on Netflix. So is there a new season of that?
The
I
new
just
season did
assumed.
come out like a month ago.
Oh, that could be it.
I haven't watched it yet.
So yeah.
Why am I suddenly picturing Howard the Duck as a Smash character?
Oh no! Don't give them the ideas; they'll hear
There
you.
could be a good Marvel fighter. Basically, Marvel the Duck at this point, I would much rather just have Spider Pig. Because all I want is that that old school cartoon humor.
Spider Pig.
And Spider Pig's better than Howard the Duck right now.
Spider
Yeah,
Pig
right now,
is
yeah.
the best, as long as he's voiced by John Mulaney.
As long as he's voiced by John
He's
Mulaney.
voiced by
Any other
John
Spider Pig, I don't want.
Do animals talk in this world? I don't want to freak him out. It's my favorite line.
A bunch more stuff they showed off at Nintendo Direct is Box Boy Box Girl. I'm excited for that. I played the first Box Boy. That's a really good game. It's a puzzle platformer basically.
Oh,
You
okay.
play as a box.
Got it.
Smash is getting an update or something. I don't like to Smash. Captain Toad is getting like a co-op update and a DLC.
Cool.
They showed off Bloodstain, which is that God damn it, what's his name? Igavania guy, Koji Igarashi, the guy who created Castlevania. Bloodstain was his.
Right.
Bloodstain was kickstarted a few years ago, which is basically like a
Crowdsourced.
spiritual successor kind of thing because he's no longer with Konami. So they showed off that. I'm super excited for that. I like my Castlevania, Metroidvania games, especially from him. They showed off Dragon Quest Builders 2, but they showed off another Dragon Quest that got me real excited. They showed off Dragon Quest 11S, which is the Dragon.
Yes, man.
Yeah, which is the mainline Dragon Quest game that just came out a few months ago, and it's gonna come on the Switch, and it's gonna have exclusive content. Motherfuckers want me to double dip. So the exclusive content is more fleshed out characters with quests, like more story quests for the side characters. They already had that in the first game, no, the previous version, but they're gonna have more of it. They're gonna have a special mode that only came out for the 3DS version in Japan. So the 3DS version in Japan, the Dragon Quest 11 for the 3DS in Japan had a mode where you can switch to 16-bit graphics, like the old Super Nintendo stuff. So that's cool. And a bunch of other stuff. So yes, I might just get it. Fuck. I love Dragon Quest, and this sounds pretty awesome. Starlink is getting an update. Disney Tsum Tsum Festival is a game.
What?
Rune Factory 4 is getting a remaster. Rune Factory 5
Oh,
was
wow.
announced. the incest game that Sarah likes, Fire Emblem.
That's coming out.
That was
Fire
one of
Emblem,
them, and they
yeah.
ended up
Okay,
not being incestual, okay? It was one of them and ended up not being... No, I'm sorry. Then there's the other one that I guess
Wait,
you
Awakening,
think it is, but
right?
it's not. No, not Awakening. Awakening
the
never was.
the remake of like
the-
an old one or something.
Shadows of Valentia. I thought it was. It ended up not being, but I was worried it was going to be. However, their other game,
Actually,
the Birth and the...
I have Fire
anyway.
Emblem Awakening. Haven't played it.
Yeah.
I know it's a strategy
good.
game and all. I might like it.
Yeah,
It's one of those where you gotta really get into the mood to play. At least for me.
Yeah, I get it. Also, don't fall in the trap that I always do with Fire Emblem games and, like, feel like I have to have perfect level ups with everybody, or at the very least, like, have to have everyone be leveled up equally so they all get
Yeah.
mastery levels and they
Yeah,
all
you-
get children.
you tend to
don't
do that, right?
Just play. I always do that, and then I never play them for, like, 10 months. I still haven't beat Fire Emblem the Birth one.
You have no idea
it's 3
how
games.
much reading I do when I play a Persona game. Like, so much reading. Like,
Do you do more reading than a Metal Gear Solid game? I don't know if you play Metal Gear Solid.
I don't do any reading for Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
Because Metal Gear Solid is like, the story is convoluted. But the mechanics are easy to understand.
Yeah.
Persona, you can have, there's like, what, 200 demon things that you can combine?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm reading about all the different combinations. People have made calculators online, so you can, like, calculate all the... That's crazy.
It's like a worse version of trying to play Pokemon and thinking too hard on it. And that is why I cannot play those games.
Luckily for me, I don't feel that with Pokemon. But with Persona and,
Yeah.
like... So, actually, Fire Emblem
Oh.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses looks really good.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a little... I will be interested to see. The only thing that to me is a little interesting is they really give you no hints as to what the overarching story is.
People were like,
are
this looks like Game of Thrones and Harry Potter or something. Because you can choose 3
kinda.
houses and it's like a whole
You
festival.
gotta choose between the 3 houses.
fantasy
The
medical
main
thing.
thing everyone in the comments was talking about was like, oh no, the teacher romance thing. Because, like, you're the teacher, but you're probably gonna be able to, because it's usual in Fire Emblem games, you can romance anybody you want. So it's like, But you are their age, so I get, you're like a prodigy teacher, it sounds like.
You're
so, I
always a
mean,
prodigy.
You're always a prodigy. So, but yeah, it's the only thing I'm curious about is, like, what's the overarching story? Because right now, all they talk about is just, like, you have to level up the house that you're going to help. It's like, okay, but
And you gotta go to
why?
school.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
And
Like,
eat
okay,
cupcakes
well,
with your loved one.
yeah, exactly. Like, what's the catch? Because Fire Emblem games are usually very, like,
seems like they're
world
going
overarching
more-
stories.
They're gonna have like more of the social stuff. I'm not sure how much social stuff was in the
Yes.
Fire Emblem game, previous ones.
Not in originally. My only
Not like
thing
Persona,
is that I
right?
hope. Yeah, kind of like in Persona. It's kind of Persona-ish, but like, so I'm still playing through the Fire Emblem Fates games. I haven't even finished the first one just because I'm thinking too hard. And I felt like in those games, they kind of push a bit of those romance things to some really dumb conclusions. I only say that because, like, one of the things you can do once you finally have a marriage partner is you can go to your house, like, every once in a while, and you just kind of have these repeated cutscenes that you do over and over again, but you don't really know why, of, like, them, like, fading out to them kissing you, like, kissing at the screen. And I think in the Japanese one, there was more that was happening that they didn't put in the English one. So that's the only thing is I'm like, okay, how much, like, I love my social aspects, but how far is this gonna go? Because, like, there's a part of me that's like, okay, but I do want to continue the story too. So
Maybe
I don't know.
like originally it goes to the touch screen, or it you see the lips zooming in, and then you have to actually like kiss the touch screen or whatever, and then like more happens.
Yeah,
I played
I don't know.
only one of the Fire Emblem games, like on the DS, and I really liked it. And along the way, I'm one of those people that tries to like keep everyone alive and all this other
Yes,
stuff.
yeah,
I pick
same
up this
here.
farmer boy,
Yep.
and I
Donald.
worked hard to keep him alive, and it just so happened that my main character and the weapon that they were using, and this kid and the weapon that they were using, I just threw them together all the time, not realizing, like, and I was like, oh wow, they're getting to be good friends, and there's benefits from being good friends. And it was
Yeah.
like, would you like to proceed to S rank? And I was like, sure. Next thing I know, we're getting married and professing
Yep.
our undying love, and I was like, no, this is not what I don't want to marry that one. He's
Yeah.
got a pot on his head, and he dreams of like raising, like owning
It's
a farm
true.
and
It's
like retiring and
fantastic.
raising chickens. I turned off the console before it autosaved. I turned it off before it autosaved. I was like, no, I cannot. I'm sorry, I just can't. And I felt bad. I felt bad, like I was reneging on something, but I was like,
you were leading him on.
There's a timeline where you and Donald are together, and you can't take that away from him. I kind of knew about the system going in, so I was like, where's my Prince Crom? Gimme. So that's the main guy,
which
basically.
game is this?
yeah.
Which one?
Awakening. It's Awakening. Yeah. I went for the main character Prince dude, and I don't regret it one bit. Were our children overpowered and killing everything in their path? Yes. Did I care? No. Like, most people who play, like, Fire Emblem Awakening, like, try to do the whole, insanity mode or whatever, recommend if you're playing female, Robin, that you do not pair them together because it overpowers that family and does not spread the wealth. But did I care? No, because I was playing casual mode. And I won my prince. That's all that matters.
Can you have same-sex relationships? No, because
not in Awakening.
Okay.
No, in the Fates game, they do have a gay and a lesbian romance. You just don't get any children from it, so it's like
wasted potential.
Yeah, kind of.
From a gameplay
like
perspective.
it's like from a gameplay perspective, you're just missing out on a character. Like you're just dishing yourself on that. So it's like, why, and that's, I mean, I couldn't really get into it because like the lesbian romance is with this person. It's actually like, do you remember Tharja, Callie? I don't know how much you remember of Fire Emblem Awakening. She's like the super creepy, like obsessive, dark magic lady. Dark hair.
Last time I played was like 2 years ago, I think.
Okay,
2.5 years. So,
Yeah,
I just remember the accidental almost marriage.
That's great. That's a great story. No, but it's weird because like they kind of have these characters that it's not meant to be the same character, but like I don't know if it's just lazy design, but like they're very similar designs and very similar personalities, but different names. So there's a character in Awakening. She's female and she can only romance other male characters, but her whole thing is no matter the gender of your tactician, she's obsessive over them. That's kind of the joke in Awakening. So when you pair her up, that's kind of the joke, is like she's gonna marry someone, but she's still obsessed with you. In Fates, they have a similar character that's like that. She's not named that, but very similar characterization. She just happens to be bi, so she will go for you whether you're male or female. The gay guy option, I'm not sure if I've met him yet, so I don't know who that is. But yeah, they introduced like one of each in Fates, but again, like, you do that and you're now just missing out on a child. So it's like, why would you? It's your own child. So it's like, ugh. No, thank you. So I don't know. They tried to handle it because there were a lot of criticisms after Awakening for lack of those relationships, but they didn't try very hard. Let's just put it that way. I'd be curious to see.
Japanese men.
Yeah. I know. I'd be curious to see in Three Houses because they don't hint at the children mechanic, which actually I don't really mind. I love the children mechanic, but at the same time, I actually wouldn't mind just a straight, like, romance somebody for benefits when you battle. In that case, they have no excuse to include gay relationships, but we'll see. I have no idea.
You do the whole, like, going to class and improve and, like, train. I like that. I like those kind of stuff.
It
does look pretty cool.
It sounds like Persona.
And and then there's, like, you can, like, move around in, like, a world, and Fire Emblem usually don't really have that, do they?
No,
it's like
not
you
at
just
all.
choose from menus, like start battle, train.
Yeah, it's very interesting. You can actually that's very new. The last time I ever saw that was the remake for Shadows of Valentia did have like dungeon crawling kind of stuff, but like this is different.
I need to tell you something, Sarah. I haven't got it yet, but I pre-ordered the Japanese physical edition of Phoenix, right?
You did it! Oh my gosh!
You get to play it in English too. They have an English option.
What?
The Japanese physical edition has an English option, which apparently a couple of games do it that way. Okami HD does it that way, and a couple other games. So I was like, oh, there's English? Yeah, fuck it, buy the physical one then. Just buying it full price. I have the physical ones on the DS. I've played it a million times. I don't care. I'm just gonna play it again.
We need to get you like a Phoenix Wright cutout.
I need one. Give me a Miles Edward one, please, right now.
I need more details of this Phoenix Wright thing because
it's also coming out on PC and PS4, so you get to
But you say physical. What does that mean?
Oh, like the physical cartridge, like the. A physical, meaning I didn't buy the digital version of the game. I bought a physical version of the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
But there's a new one coming out.
I know this.
Or is it remastered?
So it's
It's
a
remastered.
remaster, re-release of the
Okay.
first 3 games. So the Ace Attorney trilogy, and
Yep.
it was previously released on iOS and 3DS digital versions.
Yes,
I'm not sure Android
yes.
got it or not. Probably not.
Probably not.
Then they announced last September that PC, PS4, and Switch is also getting it. And if I'm not mistaken, the Switch physical edition only in Japan is coming out.
Got it.
So I was like, yeah, I'm getting it.
How much was it for you?
I was super lucky because I actually went to Amazon Japan to look at it, and I was like, this plus this with shipping. I was like, oh, that's kind of. I mean, I don't mind paying it, but then a local shop was doing imports, and I was pretty much getting a price where I didn't have to pay shipping from Amazon Japan. So I'm basically
wow.
just paying for
Nice.
the game. So that's super cool. I was so
Yeah.
excited.
I'll have to see if maybe Play Asia has it. That's going to be marked up.
Oh,
That's my best bet
I don't
for
recommend
it.
buying it from PlayAsia, but if the is the only
I
option, Amazon Japan, the cool thing about it, they do international shipping for most of their stuff, and you can actually choose to shop in English
Okay,
on Amazon
I'll have
Japan.
to
So
see.
I'll recommend checking it out. I wanted the collector's edition, but it's sold out because of course it is.
Of course it did.
So yeah, I've played it so many times. It's a linear vision novel. I don't care. I want to play on the TV.
I know.
I just want to
it's,
play
it's
on
a
the TV.
kinetic novel, technically, but yeah, I know.
Kelly, you should play it. I think it's coming on Steam as well. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's remastered though? Like it just.
It's
I think the graphics are just
Yeah, just a little
remastered,
bit
yeah.
of the graphics and everything. It's pretty much the
Because
same
the
game.
3DS, the 3DS version, I know it was just graphics just got redone, and the sprites all look a lot more nicer and stuff like,
like just
that.
HD, this kind of
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Because the
I
first 3
don't
games
know
came
if-
off of the
yeah.
DS, not the 3DS, like the old DS. So it's like,
Yeah.
Right.
In English, at least. Before that, they were Game Boy
Game
games
Boy, yeah.
in Japan only. Yeah.
Gyakuten
And
Saiban.
then, and then they got English translations and they sent to the DS. And that's pretty much where they all were for a while up until the latest 2 games, which were all in the 3DS. And then there's, of course, 3 games that have not been localized. So that's really annoying. One got a fan translation, which I still need to play.
Yeah.
I haven't played the Miles Edgeworth second one.
played the first one only.
I have it downloaded. Yeah, I only played the first one. I have it downloaded. I forget to play it just because it's not like on a handy dandy thing.
But it also feels different though. It's not the same.
It's really not. It's awkward, I will say. Like, I'll do it, but like it's super awkward. And then the other 2 games that were just side spin-offs that they decided not to translate because they're like, Americans don't remember that this game was actually originally set in Japan. We said it was set in LA, so we're not going to translate these games that are obviously very Japanese. Thanks, guys. Just make up a reason. You always do.
You're talking about the medieval one, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
2 that they made. They made 2 of them, too. It makes me so
I would have
mad.
bought it. Like seriously,
I would have bought it, too.
freaking
I
full
don't
price.
care.
I would just.
Who cares? Yeah.
Never mind.
No.
Yeah.
They didn't translate them.
So it's always for anybody that hasn't played a visual novel and wants to get into a visual novel, I always recommend Phoenix Wright.
This is a gateway to that, I would say, because it's a very easy to digest visual novel.
It's just
It's
so
actually
funny.
technically a kinetic.
So well
Yeah,
written.
it's actually technically even a kinetic novel. It's not even technically a visual novel, because there are. I mean, you get bad endings, but like your choice, you have a logical. There's only like one logical outcome for your choices, as long as you play it correctly. So it's not technically a visual novel in that case, but yeah, it's definitely a good foray into it because it's very easy to digest. And then after that, you can play the Zero Escape series.
The next couple of
I'm working through that. Yeah, the Zero Escape.
Nice.
I want to stream it, so like I haven't played a lot of it, but I played through. It's the one where they get watches attached to them,
999?
and they have to like.
They all get watches, so
Oh,
more specific.
Oh, okay. It's not 999 with the
Okay.
9 hours, 9 doors. It's not the first one from the DS.
Okay. It's not the first
It's the
one.
second one, I think.
Is one of the main female characters white hair with the blue cloak?
Yes.
Virtue's
and there's
Last-
like this. Yes, Virtue's Last Reward.
Virtue's Last Reward, second game.
Yeah, I played through one branch, and
Okay.
I realized that like the intersectionality of like, oh, depending on what you learn from one branch, you use it towards another branch, blah 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 blah.
Yes,
And I was
yes.
like, wow, I don't really feel like playing this game 50 billion times to try to figure out which branch goes to what thing.
To be fair, it's actually not that bad.
Okay.
Especially in the first game, that second game. The first game, yes, good luck. The second game, you can instantly go to whichever section you want. So
Okay.
you don't have to start from the like you might have to at first, but like once you get to like when you have an actual decision path where there were 2 main branches, you don't have to start over to get to that point. You just go right to that point and keep going from there.
Oh,
So,
thank goodness. Because,
yeah,
like, I
don't
was
worry.
to the point where I was looking for, like, okay, what's the optimal, like, start with this branch and then do this branch and then do... I was starting to look for that.
Yeah, no, don't worry
because-
about it. It does it pretty naturally. Just go with your instinct, and it'll help you out. The game doesn't let you progress towards certain because you'll have certain endings that you think are actually endings, and then you find out later, no, there's actually a ton more. They just lock it until you play other parts. So don't worry.
Okay.
It's pretty hand-holdy, but it also helps you out. The first game, I will warn you, is very traditional visual novel-esque. You will be pressing that fast-forward button a lot and having to help Junpei get out of the crushed water pouring into his room like 10 million times. But there are only 5 endings straight. So it's a much shorter game. There is a lot more text, though. Just be prepared.
Oh, yeah, so much reading. Oh, my God.
Yeah, the first game, sorry, I'm like a huge fan of this series next to Phoenix Wright. The first game is very much a traditional visual novel with puzzle elements, so yeah, you have to fast forward, but keep the fast forward button on because sometimes when you replay, there's then added dialogue,
But
which it will stop for you.
The fast forward
it will
only,
stop for you.
But fast forward button thingy is only in the re-releases, right? Not on the DS.
No, it's in the DS.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Because I played it originally on the DS, and whew, that fast forward
Did you
button
have
was my best
to
friend.
unlock the fast forward button?
You after the first time you play, it's
okay,
unlocked.
okay.
Because the fast forward button, you can change it in the settings, I believe. Because so most visual novels have the fast forward button and but it has 2 settings. You never want to do the second setting. The second setting is fast forward no matter what. You never want that in any visual novel ever, unless you're crazy and don't care about the story. In which case, why are you playing a visual novel? The option I'm such a saying. The option you always want to click, which is always the default, is fast forward basically until something new happens. Because some visual novels, such as 999, have it where like you will go through the same scene, but then like new information is presented. Because why not? So then you'll get new dialogue all of a sudden, and so it will stop and be like, "Hey, new dialogue. You should read this." And then you can fast forward again once you're done. So 999 should be a little easier to get. Well, it'll be hard to get through after playing Virtue's Last Reward, but it's not as many endings, so it's not so bad.
Because I got a bundled game that for the on the PlayStation 4. That's 999 and Virtue's Last Reward.
I am thinking of buying it because 999 has voice acting in it, which the original games did not, and it's the same voice actors who do, because some of the characters from 999 and Virtue's Last Word come back in number 3, which name escaped me for some reason, Zero Time Dilemma, and they especially one of the main characters, and so they took a lot of those same voice actors and put them into 999, and so I really want to replay it, but I haven't gotten the courage to spend $60 on a game I already have. 2 games I already have.
I was able to get the first 2. Like when I bought the PlayStation 4, it was like $20 or $25.
Yeah, I think there was they had a sale, and I was dumb because I didn't get it because I don't own a PS4.
I got it at GameStop actually.
Oh really? Okay, yeah,
Yep.
I gotta see.
I bought a physical copy.
Okay, yeah, I'm hoping to try to, because every time I try to look for it, it's not that cheap. Because I would get it right now if it was that cheap. I also don't own a PS4. I am a leecher on PS4s on 2 people, so it's like I have to download them on there.
Makes it easy.
But
they make it easy to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I love the series a lot. It's one of my top favorite series, but it's definitely not for everybody. Like Phoenix Wright, I can feel very confident to say I can't think of anyone that hates this game. But like Zero Escape series is a different kind of niche.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
just a couple last things with the Nintendo Direct stuff. Astral Chain, which is a new game by the Platinum guys that made, Bayonetta, those kind of, that.
yes.
Nier Automata, what the fuck is that? So Astral Chain looks balls to the walls crazy, and I love it. It's super Japanese.
It does.
You play like this cyber, like 80s cyber cops kind of shit, and you summon like a robot mech thing that is chained to your wrist, and you fight with that, and it's pretty fucking cool. It's so stupid. I love it.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. And
I assume it's a Switch exclusive. It's not gonna be on PC like Nier Automata.
I believe it's Switch exclusive. Nintendo's probably funding it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Final Fantasy 9 is out on the Switch for $21. I don't know how to feel about that price, but okay. And apparently it's a port that still has the same bugs from the other ports. So
So they didn't even
faithful.
try.
it's faithful.
So it's
yeah.
not even a remaster.
Yeah. Fucking hell, Square. God damn.
They're working on that remastered Final Fantasy VII, man. All 7 CDs of them.
Yep. And the big one of the big ones, maybe the biggest one, they announced the remake of Legends of the Link's Awakening.
Yes.
Full on remake.
Oh right, I definitely
Looks really
pretty.
pretty.
Definitely.
Looks really pretty.
came across.
Yes.
I might play that.
Is it still like a top-down? Or
top down,
is
yeah.
it more...
It's full on top down with
It's
just
exactly the same, just nicer graphics.
one of the like YouTube channels, or was it Polygon or IGN? They kind of did like they used the old Game Boy game to recreate a trailer. It looks really cool actually. So they put it side by side. You can see like the whole Game Boy and the Switch thing. It looks really cool. So that's the whole Nintendo Direct thing. That was a pretty big thing that happened last couple weeks. Also, a bunch of people lost their jobs. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Yep.
So Bobby Kotick, the CEO of
Woof.
Activision, started the like shareholders meeting call thing by saying Activision Blizzard made the most money of all time in the entire history in 2018, but we're gonna let 800 people go.
Yeah, because that looks good.
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard. I saw reading something. They have the most. Whatever poll did this, not poll, like whatever statistics thing they munched. They have the most overpaid CEOs, or among
Yeah.
the most overpaid CEOs of like
Wow.
any company.
Oh, wow.
It was
That's crazy.
it's in a 2019 report on the 100 most overpaid CEOs, and Bobby Kotick's in it.
That's what it was.
Game Workers Unite, an organization, wants Activision Blizzard to fire the CEO, which I don't think will do anything, to be quite honest. It's just going to continue with the next guy. I mean,
Yeah.
Shane runs deep.
I mean, I
Sorry,
know
the,
I know Bobby Kotick's the face, he's the CEO, but he's not the only one that's, like making all these decisions and stuff.
The corruption runs deep.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
sad.
Guild Wars 2 developers are also planning mass layoffs.
That's not as surprising. I didn't
Yeah.
know that game was still like really around that much.
It sucks, but it's not as like, Activision, we made the most money kind of sucks, I guess.
Right. It's not like, hey, we're doing super well. I'm gonna keep the money though.
Still no word. It's currently still a rumor. EA Australia is hit by massive layoffs. Can't really see a number here, but close to 200, I believe.
Yikes.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, what else?
We've made all the games. We're gonna stop making more games. They're all done.
Yeah, they
of my
realize the
favorite
people they're letting
games.
go is the one that's making all the games, right? I'm not sure if they...
Maybe it's just the marketing department. Maybe it's I don't know.
Okay, real quick with the YouTube stuff. YouTube,
Oh, God, yeah.
I've got one story, but I think you already have it.
are you talking about the channels are responsible to moderate their own comment section?
Yep.
Yep.
And you know
Thanks,
why it came out, right?
YouTube. I do, because of the pedophile wormhole.
Yep.
As they call it. It's a real funky name.
So basically, there's
I
a
think I've heard about this actually.
yeah. It was
just recent.
I think like the biggest person that did a thing on it is Philip DeFranco, not DeFranco's brother, but
James Franco's brother. Ah, dang it.
basically, he's like the biggest guy that covered it, but somebody else kind of started the whole like, hey, like this is a thing, guys. There's a pedophile wormhole. So it's basically like a bunch of 12-year-olds like changing and doing stuff, and the comments are just really don't read it kind of levels.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at this timestamp, you can see the gymnastics thing that you could, if you're a freak, it'll look this way to you.
Yeah, a lot of those gymnastics things, yeah.
But I think like the part that was the weirdest about it, the part that YouTube is being very quiet about, is like how it even exists. Because like the problem is like you could watch some like innocuous video, and then like 3 to 5 clicks in on like recommended videos, and then like you're stuck in the wormhole, and like all the videos you see
Yeah.
on the up next bar
The
are
guy
like of this
the
thing.
guy that actually brought it up, he watched videos of like, those like fashion makeup kind of videos, kind of people. They bought
Okay.
they
Yeah.
bought like a bunch of bikinis to try on, that kind of stuff. So like kind of sexual in a way.
Sure.
2 clicks in, you're in the wormhole.
2.
2.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Jeebers.
Wasn't there like I heard something about the reason that Tumblr got rid of the not safe for work content, or like they started, was because of pedophile rings or like different
I can
groups
I
of
can see that.
people.
I didn't actually.
It's,
hadn't
it's
heard
actually
that,
it's
but it
it's
wouldn't
almost a
surprise me.
little more complicated than that, because unfortunately,
Is it fan art
because they're
stuff?
already it was because of a new law that went out in the United States.
Oh.
Okay.
In an effort, I don't know fully the law, but I remember when it first came out, a lot of people were very much in opposition for it, for this being one of the reasons. Basically, if I recall correctly, this new law came out and it was supposed to be an effort to stop, it's a new federal, if I recall correctly, it's supposed to be an effort to stop, like, sex trafficking for minors, was kind of the main thing, and just sex trafficking in general. But it basically said, it put the onus on the websites and the web hosts for any content that
Right.
could be, compliance
lot of
with
expensive
sexual
tooling.
trafficking. So as a result, a lot of websites such as Tumblr put in super strict rules, because if anything got past, any basic censors of theirs that was pedophile, basically, or sex trafficking, they would get hit by the law and suffer major consequences. So it's just weird with YouTube, because it's just weird with YouTube because they put so many regulations, but yet it's almost like it seems like it's worse. I don't know. It's weird.
I get that, because I remember that in the Tumblr thing, it was like you would click to certain things, and then you'd get access to a link that would take you to something that was actually malicious. So I'm wondering if
Yeah.
there's something similar going on with these wormholes, and like people
Yeah.
like, hey, here's a link, or some kind of code phrase or whatever they do.
And their
Exactly.
tags, I'm sure their tags also are are engineered perfectly.
It wasn't that I think most of the videos weren't being hosted by pedophiles. They were like random videos that
Right,
pedophiles
exactly.
would like link together with, like you said, like code words and like little
Yeah.
comments type things.
Yeah.
And because like if a pedophile clicks on a video from another video, the algorithm's more likely to recommend that because it has a history of having great click through.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Exactly
then
my
get-
point with the Tumblr
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So it's just that the way Tumblr went about, of course, was extremely, like, practically sexist too, because it only because Tumblr straight out, which for this it was just shocking for the culture of Tumblr as we know it for them to say this, but
Absolutely.
Tumblr's rules blatantly said that no genitalia, obviously, and no exposed female breasts or female nipples, excuse me, which of course you were like,
Just the nipple.
Just the nipple.
just the female.
That's
just
the part we
fe-
can't handle.
Well, it's just the female too, and it's like, okay, and so it's just especially it was almost just comical for, like, the culture of Tumblr to be like kind of sexist in that way, and you're like, okay. So it's just especially like, all right.
Because the management isn't exactly, very. There's a culture.
Well, probably
there's management. It's like there's a.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. It's exactly.
You just
Isn't
wall in the
Tumblr
middle.
bought out by another company too?
No idea.
Who bought
They're
out
struggling.
Tumblr?
I don't think they're gonna make it too long.
Well, they're especially struggling now. They
yeah.
very badly. Well, especially because porn
Porn was a
kind
huge
of
thing there.
was a huge thing in Tumblr. It was. I knew
It's
some
like if
people.
DeviantArt tried to ban porn.
Yes. Or fan fiction tried to ban fan fiction porn.
It's like
Good luck.
adult fan fiction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the only news story I had related to YouTube. I don't know if you had
You guys heard of Dreams? Do you know what game that is? Dreams?
That sounds
doesn't ring a bell.
familiar,
Okay,
but I don't
so
think I know it.
Media Molecule, the developers of this game, it's a Sony studio, more or less. I think Sony owns them. They're the guys that make Little Big Planet.
Okay.
And in that game, it's like a platformer, it's a QC stuff, but there's also like a very robust like level creator, and people have created a
Yeah.
bunch of crazy shit. So yeah, imagine Dreams times 1,000 of that.
Oh, jeez.
It's okay. So people have created like crazy shit on Dreams, and you know how like on Little Big Planet, there's like you'll see, oh, it's a level from Final Fantasy or something, but it looks like Little Big Planet,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you know it's a Little Big Planet thing. Yeah, this one like just straight up, I don't know. I think you can draw your own shit in it and stuff, and it looks crazy. I've only seen like the already made stuff by the fans, by the people, the community. I haven't really looked at the tools and all that, but it's still in development. And they just announced that Dreams is going to do a early access kind of thing on PlayStation, because a PlayStation only title. So you can get into the thing for $30 and start playing with the early access tools, and pretty much use the same tools that the developers are using to create a game, which is freaking insane. So if you're like a creative person that can make a lot of shit, not me. If so, I would really recommend you look into this, and it's only $30. It's crazy. I would think I actually thought it was like a $60 title.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, maybe only because it's early access.
maybe
Is
it might.
less
Yeah, it might
expensive?
go up in price. I'm not even sure if you get the full version if you buy the early access. It'll suck if you don't, but it's a crazy little thing. I would really recommend anybody that's interested in like creating stuff to look at it. It was a huge thing at E3 2 years ago, I think. But the things people make with it is insane. It's crazy.
It almost makes me want a PlayStation just so I can play the games people make, not so I
Yeah.
can
Oh yeah,
play it
you can
myself.
also do that. You can download all the things that people make. I believe you do have access to that with the early access version of it, which is cool. So yeah, that is crazy. And the last little bit is just a small little thing. Square Enix announced a new RPG. So basically they teased by registering a domain name, opening a Twitter account. So the name of the RPG is Last Idea, and people are like, oh my god, Last Idea, is that a play on like Final Fantasy? Is this Final Fantasy 16? Is this like some kind of fantasy? I was thinking, no way is this gonna be like an actual game. This is probably gonna be a mobile gacha game or some shit. Guess what?
Yeah.
It's a mobile gacha game. So yeah, it's lots of loot boxes. It's probably only gonna come in
You all
Japan.
have
at least for now.
phones, right?
Yeah, you have a phones, right? So yeah, that's a thing that I don't know why anybody would have thought that it's gonna be a Final Fantasy game or something. Come on, man, you know better than this. Just set yourself up for
I
disappointment.
just laugh. I'm just laughing because
Yeah.
I think it was for the Wii. They did some offshoots from Square. I think made a game called Last Story, and that
Yeah,
was
they did.
supposed to be a
They
play
do
on
like
Final Fantasy.
once in a while you
So-
get like exclusive RPGs on like the Xbox or like the Wii and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess people were really hoping for one of those. Nope, mobile gacha game. That's it. Nothing much. If you're into the whole getting free games on Epic Game Store, Timbleweed Park is the free one for this 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I saw that. What is that about?
It's a point-and-click adventure that got a lot of homages to other point-and-click adventures. So it's got a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
dialogue.
made by a
and it's
veteran.
got
Veteran of the genre.
Okay.
it's got a really fleshed out world, but I struggled really hard playing it because it's not clear what order you can solve things in. So like,
Pixel
I just
Hunter?
can't solve this
No.
puzzle.
Is
No,
it?
not Pixel Hunter, but
Oh, okay.
like I can't figure out how to like get I can like move all these pieces and make progress, but then it's like an hour before I give up on this puzzle. I'm gonna turn out it's because I need an item I couldn't get until later in the game, and it wasn't like always clear when a puzzle was solvable and I was being dumb, or the puzzle was literally unsolvable because I hadn't gotten to the right sequence in the game. So it's almost too open. Yeah, I ended up doing it and it was good, but it was very frustrating sometimes.
It got a lot of like hype because it's made by Ron Gilbert and Gary Winnick, who created Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion, so got a lot of hype.
Oh, right.
So I mean, it's free, so just try it out if you're into point and click adventures.
I mean, the beginning's very good.
So yeah, that's about it. Good place to wrap up.
I think so. You can start, Callie.
Yes.
The guests always start.
Where can people
Oh,
find
okay.
you?
So, my name is CaliXenon, CaliXenon, and I'm on twitch.tv. I'm also on Twitter. And those are my most active media sites. I think that's good. I'm a variety streamer. I play a lot of different things and just kind of have a goofy, wacky time. So, that's me and what I do.
Hey guys, Sarahscopic, Sarahscopic. Not hoping to come back to YouTube in April, actually. And I'm also trying to get back on Twitch, but I'm also on Twitter and Facebook. You can find me there. You can also find me doing the news segments for Checkpoint XP, which you can find them on Twitch, or you can go to checkpointxp.com to find out more about them.
And I'm Foehamner. I was on Twitter and YouTube. Now I'm pretty much just YouTube because YouTube took away the ability to tweet when you published a YouTube video.
Yeah.
So I'm too lazy to go and cross-post manually. So I basically don't even go on Twitter anymore.
Pupunoob, and it'll be YouTube and Twitter, I guess. Follow, don't follow, whatever, man. Do whatever you want. So yes, this has been episode 149 of the PlayOnUltra podcast. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and thank you, Kelly, for joining us.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So yes, see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.